Hey guys, do you want to see a movie that features the Vietnam War, a rescue mission, and a one-man army? That's not Rambo.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
If you do, then Missing in Action is for you.
Missing in Action from Cannon Films is the movie that we'll be talking about from 1984 in this episode of Loose Cannon, Nick Uncaged. My name is Brian Lee. To my left is...
Bran.
to my right.
Gracefully.
Hey, how about this new setup?
It's great.
Synopsis for Missing in Action. Colonel Braddock launches a mission deep into the jungles of Vietnam.
It's like a jungle sometimes.
It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Brand.
Yeah.
Do you recommend Missing in Action?
I do
Whoa.
recommend it. Yes, very much. Because there was just a lot of like Chuck Norris scenes that I enjoyed. So
Brian, do you recommend Missing in Action?
I'm on the fence because it definitely got better towards the end.
yes.
But I'm gonna lean towards no.
I don't think I'm on the fence. I do not recommend it.
I did have the thought: is Chuck Norris not as good as we think he is?
No, because there are like Delta Force is awesome. Like there are good Chuck Norris movies. My biggest complaint about this movie is it's long.
Yes.
It's an hour and 40 minutes, and it doesn't need to be.
Definitely.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Because there was a lot of like, it was really interesting because there'd be like a lot of like tense moments, and that, well, I mean, we'll just get into it.
Yeah.
Like when he kills the one like Vietnamese colonel, like he
Right.
sneaks into his bedroom
Yeah.
and like kills him and escapes the guards. Like that's super exciting.
Yeah.
And then there's this really long scene of him like climbing on buildings,
Yeah.
like really slowly. Yeah.
Right.
Good.
What's that general? He's from a lot of stuff, right?
Oh yeah, he's been in everything.
I know. I know
where
he
is it?
plays. I know he
Big
plays.
Trouble in Little China.
That's right, and he's also Cassandra's dad.
Yes.
in Wayne's World too.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, I'm like, I feel like he's in a lot. Of
he's
shit.
in a lot of stuff. Yeah. Oh, now when you say about the slow parts on the building, I remember this is what 1984.
Right.
Yes.
It's like that was probably like the stunts. Like now you watch it, you got the Marvel movies, people are flying everywhere.
Yeah.
You didn't have that in '84. Like
No.
that's probably like, oh my god, look at that, that's so scary and stuff. So I could see how it could be super exciting for those Dumbos back in the day.
Language.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, there were some really big explosions.
yeah, really big
And
explosions.
the severity of what grenades can do.
Very, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I remember like he threw a grenade into like it was like that little like machine gun like tent thing, and it was this huge fucking
Yeah.
explosion. But then like he threw it into like a boat. I think.
Oh,
and it was just,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, well, in the beginning, I'm like, first off, Chuck, he's got to do everything. He's doing
Yes.
it for everybody, and
Right.
these are all supposed to be special force units. He seems like the only one that has any kind of like special forces training.
Right.
But whatever, that's fine. It's Chuck Norris. That part with the machine gun, like that nest, I like how no one does anything about it. Everyone just starts. All the like the U.S. Army guys are just running, and the guy.
Which part? Because I feel like there's a couple machine guns.
It was that one nest
In the beginning,
that
okay.
they kept killing people, and everyone just did nothing about it except.
Right.
I didn't even Chuck did anything really, and then he kept saving people.
So is the very first scene of this movie, is it a flashback or a dream?
It's a
Yeah.
flashback.
Oh wait,
Okay.
no. What is it?
He wakes up in bed.
Right.
I think it's like him remembering what happened.
But I would agree, but at the very end, he pulls two grenades and jumps on people.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, how did it go from that to he's in bed, but then he escaped the POW camp? So did he get caught after the two grenades? Like, is that what happened?
Right.
It all seemed
And how
very...
did he not blow up?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's what you make mention about the grenades.
Yeah.
Like how the power is just like, I'm like, did he just die? And then he shoots up in bed. So it all just kind of was very weird.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's...
Did that one guy really need to bayonet the shit out of that American soldier?
So much.
I was I'm like, what is going on? Like that was kind of like
And like,
crazy. Yeah.
and Chuck Norris like watches it. for a
Right,
while.
right. Well, the guy was dead, and the guy kept stabbing him in the stomach, and you like saw it. Which, make mention, this was Chuck Norris's first Golden Globus.
Oh, yes, you're correct. This was the first film in a 5-film contract with Cannon Films. Each one of the films that he did was $1 million per film. Like he got paid $1 million.
Yeah,
Right,
I'd
right.
take that gig. Why not?
Hell yeah.
There were a lot of flashbacks.
Yes.
I think some of them could have been not
Not in there.
Yeah. I still enjoyed it, but I don't know. It's
To me,
it was
it's-
slow.
to me, there's better Chuck Norris movies.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. I mean, if I were to sit down, whether it's by myself or with people, and be like, let's watch a Chuck Norris movie, this isn't it.
I know I wouldn't pick this one.
Yeah, but this one has that Asian lady singing "Do You Think I'm Sexy?"
Yes.
Multiple times.
multiple times.
I laughed at that part.
Yeah, because the first time it's like 48 minutes, like, and she's like saying the verse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I know this song.
I'm like, what is she singing?
Yeah.
And then she got to the chorus.
All right.
You want my body and you think I'm sexy. Come on and let it show.
So I used to work for Carmine Appice.
Yes.
Who was the drummer for Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
And he helped write that song.
Oh.
Okay.
And he would always find ways to drop that he wrote that song. Like it was like almost where it was like kind of cringy almost.
Yeah.
Like we're on the bus and like there was like a bag of like Chips Ahoy. Like on the counter, he's like, "Oh, Chips Ahoy! You know they used my song in a commercial." once." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Here we go." Whatever. He's an old Italian guy.
Yeah.
It's like Chips Ahoy. Pirates say ahoy. Pirates like booty. If you think I'm sexy, let me tell you. That's good.
Ooh, it's lightning out. Better make sure we don't get struck like a lightning rod. Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart.
Yeah, you guys. I like your connections. It's pretty good. Pretty
Go
conspiracy.
ahead, Brad.
Yeah. If you like my body and you think I'm
hungry.
sexy.
Man, it's really cold. I can go for some stew. Rod Stewart.
I got one. Oh man, I'm a little hungry too. I can go for some pretzels. Those pretzel rods. Rod Stewart.
I love this museum. This museum of art. Stewart. Rod.
You know, I really like that actor, French Stewart. Rod Stewart. Oh God.
No one ever says it.
A phrase that has never been uttered. French Stewart. Oh my god.
That sweet breakdance music.
I thought that was so funny. That was because that's the part when he told his handler, that lady, which of course she falls in love with him.
yes.
Of course, he's like, oh, I want to go look at Saigon, see how it changed. First off, you're not looking around Saigon. I can tell you that.
Don't stick your finger at me.
Well, it's more towards Chuck. So if you're watching Chuck Norris, waggle waggle to you. Yeah.
Waggle waggle.
So yeah, he walks out, and then there's the group. There's that one guy. He wasn't even dancing. He was kind of like doing like a wiggle to like some hip hop music, and the people are just like watching him.
Yeah,
and it was really strange.
Is that where he goes to meet Tucker? Tuck? Is that club with the girl singing?
Yes. So it must have been Thailand. It must have been Thailand. Yeah.
And man, that guy loves his Hawaiian shirts. Even when everybody else is trying to be camouflaged.
Yeah. And he's from a bunch of different kind of like movies like this. Like this kind of stuff. He's like that like sidekicky type guy.
It gave me the vibe of what's his name? Randy Quaid?
Yes.
Like in Independence Day?
Yes, it's exactly
I'm wacky. I drink all the time.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to die.
Right, yeah.
Oh, wacky.
but my favorite is, so Tuck hooks him up with that arms dealer.
Yeah.
Who is, by the way, the worst barterer ever.
Yeah.
He's like, 20,000. He's like, 5. And I'm like, wow, that's a dick.
Yeah.
Like, way to fucking lowball
Yeah.
him. And then he just like points the gun at him. He's like,
What?
15.
Well, because Chuck loaded the gun. He like,
Right,
yeah.
But again, he's a terrible salesman because why would you put bullets in a gun that you're about to show to someone?
Why would the guy jump up there and get it ready? Yeah, no, it was right.
But but it's Tucker where he's like, yeah, I got a boat. They go out there and like the boat's super shitty and it like 50 minutes in.
Yeah.
And Chuck Norris is like, oh, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And he's like my daddy always says, don't believe everything you see. I'm like, first off, your dad sounds like a moron. Like it's like be like, seeing is believing, or picture's worth 1,000 words. Like, don't believe everything you see. It's like, well, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Yeah, your dad's stupid.
right.
5G causes COVID.
First the frog's gay.
The part where I think they're trying to get like he's on the boat, the Hawaiian shirt guy is the gun because they want to go.
Right.
And there's assassins from Vietnam that are trying to kill Chuck Norris. They're like, oh, go get him. And Chuck Norris hops in a truck and starts trying to run over and take out all the guys in that part. And it's at 59 minutes 55 seconds into the movie. There's that guy sitting on the boxes at the edge of like the dock, and the car just flies right into the boxes, and the guy just flies off.
Chuck Norris.
God, it was hilarious.
Chuck Norris does so much damage to the market outside of his hotel and that port.
Yeah.
It's like, no wonder these people hate him.
I think he did more stuff to that stuff than to actually the people. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, the one part that kind of was like, oh, that's sad, was when Chuck was still in Thailand. It was right before that, right before they're getting ready to leave. The Vietnam guy with the rocket launcher, like, shot into the hotel room, and all these like people on the street died. And like the ladies, like the guy had like the kid in his arms, and like the kid's
they carried him in the most probably like least medical way.
Because like struggling.
Yeah, because I think it's the dad that like has most of the child.
Yeah,
but then like the mom's holding the head. So it's
exactly. And did you guys see the one guy on the ground? Nothing's wrong with him, but he's holding his eyes, and there's just blood like right here, and he's just rolling. I was like, I guess he hurt his eyes.
I will, as much as I didn't like the movie, I was happy with how many rocket launchers there were in it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I did like the part where the one guy chased him. And the boat, he's like, this is personal now.
Yeah.
So he sneaks on, and then Chuck gets him. He goes, get him with, what was it? What did he have? Because you tried to get Chuck with it, but Chuck turned it around and like got him.
It's like an axe head.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was originally an axe.
Right. And then I think Chuck Norris at some point like knocks the handle off.
Because the guy swung at his head, but Chuck missed it, and then he did
that's right.
God.
That's right.
Yeah.
But then they're like fighting with just like an axe head, which is like such a weird,
very strange.
Probably my favorite grenade launcher scene is about an hour 27 in, where he's in his raft with Chuck, and they blow up their little raft with the grenade launcher.
Yes.
And and then the three Vietnamese, they're like, yes. They're like laughing. But the laughing is at normal speed, but they're laughing in slow motion. Yeah. And as they're laughing, Chuck Norris pops up, just like straight up out of the water.
That was awesome.
It's so great. I wrote that. Oh man.
Yeah, and then just shoots him in slow mo.
Yeah, I even wrote it down.
Awesome.
Yeah. His buddy he's like, oh, I'm gonna die, he says, or something.
See you guys in hell.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's like other guy on the boat that you don't even see, he gets shot.
Right. Yeah, after they I think it's after they rescue all the POWs, or after Chuck does, essentially. They're all in the helicopter, and that one guy in the hat, like with the foreign guy who got him the helicopter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's like, make sure you get a pilot I can trust. He turns around and says something. Do you guys understand what the fuck he said?
He said, I don't know the exact words, but the gist of it was, at this place, you can trust anyone to do anything for money.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
No, in the helicopter.
In the helicopter. Oh, no, I don't know.
Like, and I'm like, huh? Like, I'm not even lying. I rewound it 3 times. Like,
If I knew it would be like this, I wouldn't rent you the helicopter for $1 million.
I have to say, the ending, I was hoping for more.
Yeah. The freeze frame was really sudden.
Yeah.
really strange.
Yeah, because it was like the one Vietnam guy said, oh, I could tell you now, you can see that we have no MIAs or no POWs in Vietnam. And then the door opens and Chuck Norris is there with all these MIAs behind him, and then boom, done.
Yeah. Right. Like, give him a one-liner or something.
Because usually in Chuck Norris movies, he's got that one at the end where it's like, he's like, gotcha, in your face, Vietnam, or whatever, you know?
Do you think I'm sexy?
Yeah, exactly. And everyone dances and it's over. I was actually, I was very curious. I looked up like the whole Vietnam thing after this.
The war?
Yeah, the war. They call of it and everything, and like the government afterwards and how it turned out. Yeah. So, if anything, the movie makes you want to look into the Vietnam War.
Oh.
Yeah, so there you go.
Rambo did it better.
I actually read something. Chuck Norris was not a fan of the Rambo one because he said you would never leave anyone. Like the missing in action. He's like, I would never have left those guys there. I would have died to try to rescue them. He's like, I wanted to make a movie that was really patriotic and American.
Well, so one of the bits of trivia was that he made this as a memorial for his younger brother Whelan, who was killed in the Vietnam War in 1970.
Wow. No, there you go, man.
Yeah.
I still stand by what I say.
I still like Rambo better.
Oh yeah, definitely. Rambo's great.
So
Second one's the best. First Blood Part 2.
yes.
Read First Blood.
Huh?
Read the book First Blood.
No, I have heard the book is really good.
The book
I haven't read it, but I've heard good things.
My grandpa actually, he gave it to me. My grandpa owned it. My grandpa actually had it when he bought like the first copy.
Yeah.
And he gave it to me. He's like, read this. And dude, it is the movie, but you'll love the movie and more.
You think there's an audiobook with
Oh,
Sylvester
yeah.
Stallone reading it?
Probably. Yeah. Or you can get somebody to put marbles in their mouth and then read the book, and it's the same thing.
Marlboros or marbles?
Both.
Deep in the jungle.
Actually related to Rambo.
Yes.
So I guess, so we mentioned Rambo 2 and this movie, very similar plots.
Yeah.
And I guess what happened was Stallone was going to all like the movie studios. And he's like, hey, Rambo First Blood Part 2, I want to make it. You know, I'm trying to find like a studio like that'll want to do this with me. And Stallone was asking for $30 million. For like $30 million. So Canada's like, way too expensive. We usually do things in like $2 to $4 million.
Yeah.
So Stallone was like, no thanks, I'll pass. But Canon Group, they liked this story. So they basically made their own version for, I forgot what the exact amount, but it was $2 to $4 million. They cast Chuck Norris, who was obviously cheaper than Stallone.
Right.
The director, I didn't write down his name. Joseph Zito, who I guess only had experience doing like horror films.
Yeah. Fantastic.
That's great.
Now that we have
Yes.
talked about, I was about to say Rambo, Missing in Action. Brand, I think you originally said you recommended it.
I say if you're a big fan of Chuck Norris, just watch because it's a good Chuck Norris flick. It's decent, but like if you're not a big fan, then don't bother. There's plenty of other better Chuck Norris ones.
Yeah.
But I still say it's decent enough if you're a fan.
Yeah. Brian, do you recommend it, Missing in Action?
I think I'm going to go with no.
Yeah, I agree. I don't recommend it. Just because, I mean, I like Chuck Norris. I just think there's better movies out there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of similar to like some of the more recent Charles Bronson movies that we've covered.
Yeah,
Where it's like, there's better.
That makes sense. I like that.
All right. Let's
Cool.
do it. Well,
Until next time.
Good journey.
Hey, Brian here. Thanks for checking out Nick Uncaged and Loose Cannon. Best way you can help other people find out about us is like, comment, share, and subscribe to the podcast.